Hi, I'm Jack Cush with Room Now. This is about better lectures. You're great. Everyone knows you're a great speaker, great enough to be on the Room Now program. Audiences are asking for you to lecture because they know that you're excited and passionate about the content that you deliver. This is what makes you unique. This is what makes you someone who likes to give lectures. What most of the audience doesn't know is that you spend years learning the subject matter. You spend hours gnashing your teeth over the content and you're going to present and how you're going to present it. And you're part of, great teaching in America. The problem is that education's changed. It's changed dramatically. The question is, are you and am I ready to make a change as well? The problem is, I think that the same old that's made us effective, great teachers in the past, still only delivers, that which you got before and doesn't take it to another level. And the fact is that traditional education has many shortcomings. The problem now, I think that's being recognized by more people, is that teachers teach, but the lessons really do belong to the learners. People who are designing education now are going more for dynamic learning with active participation by the audience, mainly because you want them to learn more and have greater impact to the messages you're delivering. What you need to do is maybe teach them just enough and leave enough on the table that they're going to have some fuel in the tank for the Q&A session, which you're going to deliver. Of course, the data about attention spans. The attention spans on videos that I do are actually quite good, but the average attention span on most video is about 2 minutes. The studies on attention span with humans is just shocking. Think of the number, but the number is only recent data, 8.25 seconds, actually shorter than a goldfish. This is based on really well-designed experiments. In 1978, studies of medical students looked at their attention span and said that it was sort of capped at between 10 and 15 minutes. But yet, if you ask the medical students how long is your attention span, they always proclaimed 60, 69, that they were in it and could stay in it. But that's self-reported. When you look at eye movement and brain activity and diversions, it's really seconds. So it's a tremendous task to keep someone's attention, to deliver not just the data, but the point that you want to make. I always like to say something I think is really true. Nobody remembers the data. Everybody remembers the story. So do I have to become a great storyteller? This is a problem. The question is, what's a good lecture? What's a bad lecture? I think a bad lecture is 60 minutes long, 50 minutes long. It's got 60 slides, has 10 key clinical trials and, lots of data graphs and basically ends with you or me apologizing for, gee, I wish we had more time for questions. And you lost them in the first 5 minutes of the lecture and lost them repeatedly throughout. So the retention of what you delivered is really, really small. Great lectures are shorter, have great clarity, and are relevant or relatable and integratable into their daily lives or practice. So it's going to be odd for me to tell you, the great speaker, that maybe you should change. I'm going to suggest that maybe you should change because it could make you into an even better speaker. Woodrow Wilson was asked to give a talk once, and he asked, how long do I have? And he said, if I can talk as long as I want, then I can go right now. I need no preparation time at all. But if it's a half-hour speech, I'm going to need a week to prepare it. And if it's a 10-minute speech, I'm going to need 2 weeks to prepare it. Point being, it's a lot harder to give a shorter lecture. Room Now Live is 25 minutes, not an hour, not 50. It's 25 minutes, and the last 5 minutes of your talk is going to be for Q&A. So shorter is definitely harder. How do you go about this? I would say the best way is to first strive for being clear, concise, and instructive. You need to outline and map out your key data, your main teaching points, your timing of delivery. You need to think with the end in mind and then script it so that Along the way, you can present the data in a flow-like manner, build in some stories, hit your punchlines, and deliver the take-home messages. I think the successful lectures from all I've read on this begin with grabbing attention. Maybe this is where you start with a story or a difficult scenario or a controversy that exists within the field. And then you deliver engaging information that's built upon in a crescendo-like fashion until you get to your main point. The problem is, in the graph of their interests, you go up and up and up, but they don't plateau and stay with you. It always falls off. You need to allow for that, and you need to re-engage that with your next objective and teaching point. In between, this is where you can insert one of the other requirements that we like to have at Room Now Live, which is what? A case or a polling question. These are really important. They're mental breaks and readjustments for re-engagement. The purpose of a case or a polling question is a status check for both you and the learner. You can figure out where the audience is on this issue, and the learner can see where they stand compared to their peers. The second purpose is a priming issue, meaning you can prime them for what you're going to present next in your presentation. Do that with a case or do that with a polling question. Well, 12% of you got this right, and here's the data that proves it, that sort of thing. And lastly, build in mental breaks. All right, who's your favorite Beatle? Or who won the 1969 World Series if it wasn't the New York Mets? Again, you want to re-engage them, and then you launch into your next objective. And when you take them on this roller coaster ride, you maintain engagement. You get higher impact to your learning. So I don't think we want to necessarily morph you in a major way, especially from being the sage on stage as you are known. Maybe you can go a little bit more towards being the guide on the side. It becomes more personal, and you don't have to deliver the 60 slides. You deliver 20 slides and leave a lot of questions, because a lot of questions means better audience engagement with you. And it's the give and take that becomes really a rich educational experience for all involved. So we want you to be the mentor, the enlightener, the instigator, the one who's going to teach and make that audience smarter. But if they're really engaged, then you take it to another level with a red hot Q&A session. I like that you're the great speaker, the great lecturer, but I'd rather you be, and your teachings be, the memorable person on the program. We'll see you at Room Now Live.